Hello everyone, thanks for watching. We're still waiting for everyone to complete their registration for Merkaba Academy. Please check your emails for registration request. Still feel free to check out the progress, we're updating the site daily. Also, there's another chance to get Never Pay Again membership for one payment of $24.99. Hurry, once the sale ends the link will no longer work. Thanks for your support, and see you at the Academy.
When we're talking about true spirituality and true meditation and everything that entails, because you're going to be lost. And a lot of people, you go into wherever you meditate and you get in lotus position and you close your eyes and a lot of you fall asleep. A lot of you just think and you let your mind wander and you really don't know what to expect, and you don't realize that not knowing is hindering you. That not knowing where this is going or what exactly should I be doing in this meditative position is a problem. So we're going to really get into this in this DVD and get you into the correct mindset and understand that there is so much more to all of this. And there's so many things that has been put in place to really hinder us and separate us from the true connection that we need to have in order for our meditation to work correctly for us. And it's the reason why a lot of people are having problems and issues. You know, I talked about me going to Thailand, going to Tibet, being in Thailand for a month and really, studying with the monks and learning from the monks about meditation and breathing techniques. I put out Buddhism, and I talked about how, in India, when he went to China and taught Chan Buddhism to the Shaolin monks to really get them to understand about the techniques they needed to use in order to stay in meditative positions for a long period of time to really get their bodies ready for meditation. This is a whole nother step that we'll get into down the line, but there's something you guys got to remember, that there's a lot more to it than just lotus position, closing your eyes. There is a oneness, a uniqueness. You have to get your body and mind ready for meditation with a clear understanding of what exactly is going to take place. Plain and simple. So we're really going to get into this and get you guys to understand the true purpose of, everything that deals with the heart, and how the heart is really important when it comes to meditation, and how the synchronicity of your heart and mind and everything else has to line up and has to be in rhythm, in tune, in order for this to be understood and be done correctly. So in part one, we got into how consciousness, how energy is very real in the body. I talked about this, and how that, we have consciousness creating energy. The energy is allowing us to move, and about how our conscious thoughts can basically control our body. I gave the analogy of sex, of course, about having physical stimulation by thought alone. The most amazing thing that we do on a conscious level as far as thinking about sex and getting aroused, having physical movement because of thought. That is because our desire for sex is so high, it's so strong. Our desire for that feeling is so strong and it's so true and real that we basically transcend. We basically, kick in the door for those feelings, for that emotion. And we basically bypass, everything, spiritual, our consciousness and everything else, just to get this feeling. It's an amazing thing that we do, that we take for granted every single day. But it's very real. And this is how we use this analogy to really think about how we can, in other ways, stimulate our mind, use our consciousness to control our body. So we have to really get into that in part one to get you to understand, one, meditation is real, and this is how we can prove it in these very simple ways. So, when you get into the whole thing, talked about this. What is it exactly that we are trying to do with meditation? What do we want to do? What do we want to accomplish? What exactly is it? And the purpose, the point that we want to achieve is mind, body, energy, or mind, body, spirit, mind, body, soul, however you want to put it. So, what is that exactly? What is that? Mind, body, spirit, what is that? And, mind, we can really understand, our mind. Body is the one that confuses people the most. Spirit, we understand our energy, our soul, or what have you. But of the three, really, the body of the three is the most important because it's the one that we in this physical plane is going to be controlling the most. It's the one that we have the most control over, but also it's the body that we're going to use to help develop the rest. And that's the point, again, of us being in this flesh to do exactly that. So when you understand, the body, most people, when you hear the body, you think about, the entire body. And that's not necessarily true of what you need to be focusing on. It's really the heart. Plain and simple, the heart. And this is what they mean when they say the body. It's the heart. Now, of course, if we don't take care of the body, then the heart will, it won't function correctly. You won't get the kind of energy you need for your heart if your body is not taken care of. So you can also look at it in that aspect that it's a total package to where, your body has to be right, but really your body needs to be right so that your heart can be right. That is the key. It's your heart. And of course, most people think that the mind is more important than the heart. Most people will say, well, your brain, you need your brain. It's all about the brain, the mind, the mind, the mind. But a lot of people don't understand that your heart sends more neurological signals to your brain than your brain sends to your heart. Plain and simple. Every time your heart beats, it creates a magnetic field that can be measured by magnetometers. And I talked about this before in the Human Energy on YouTube. So you have so many neurological signals coming from the heart to the brain. And we're going to get into this more in this video, that it's very serious how much control and impact your heart has. And it's going to be sort of a theme in this DVD. We're going to really get into the heart because of everything. I mean, I have no idea how important this is and how, when we take a look at a lot of things about how we are being attacked daily and how really everything is more focused on the heart than the mind. And when you understand that your heart is sending more neurological signals to the brain, you can see how, this is possible and why it's possible that they want to attack the heart more than the mind. So now, as I said, every time your heart beats, it generates a electrical magnetic field that communicates with every single cell in your body. Our hearts are connected to the Earth's electromagnetic field. The only thing is, it's about synchronicity, which we'll get into. Now, when you pay attention, you understand all living things, just about every single living organism, mammals, almost every animal that we see has a connection to the Earth's electromagnetic field. They use it. And we understand that the importance of, the heart, when you think about what we can possibly use the Earth's electromagnetic field for. We understand how animals use it. They get around and use it to navigate. But we are so out of sync with the magnetic field that we do not use it. We are basically going off of instincts. We are flying blind. If we needed to use it to get around the planet, we would be lost. Animals are still in tune with it. So now when you understand that, they are attacking our heart, as I said, this is why the number one cause of death in the world is heart disease. Everybody goes into cardiac arrest and you die. When your heart stops, that's game over. Plain and simple, no coming back from that. So the number one killer of people on this planet is heart disease. Understand that. And that is by design because they want to attack the heart and they are constantly attacking the heart daily. Everything is about attacking your heart, which we know has a strong connection to the brain. So when you attack the heart, you attack both the mind and the heart, the body, everything. So when you go back and you pay attention to the ancient Egyptians and how they said the heart was the key to the afterlife. So we understand about, the whole Ani's Book of the Dead, talked about this in the Egyptian Book of the Dead DVD, about remember when you went through judgment and you had the heart on the scale of Ma'at. And that, everything is true, you're good to go. If not, Amet devours your heart. But everything was about truth. The heart was serious to the ancient Egyptians. And it's a big deal because, everything that they did was in truth. And we're going to get into this, why it's that truth attachment with it and why this is very important. But remember, the Egyptians, during the whole embalmment ceremony, they took out everything. All the organs came out. The heart stayed with the body because they believe it's the key. And you got to pay attention to what are they really saying here, because we know when you die, that's it. Heart stops. It's over. So you're not physically taking a heart with you to the afterlife. Physically, your heart is not beating. It's not working. It's just as dead as all the other organs. So why leave the heart? And you got to understand that's symbolic of you understanding that if your heart is not right when you are alive, you can't go through judgment in the afterlife. You won't make it. So your heart has to be right. And why is that? We're going to get into this in a little bit later in this video. But the heart, that's what they're trying to convey to us. That the heart must be right. The heart is everything. The heart is the key. And you're going to understand that a lot more. All of this, COINTELS, all of this goes with meditation. It's deep. It's a lot to get into here. So we understand that. Okay. Heart is important. You understand animals and so many animals, how to use the Earth's electromagnetic field. When you start talking about stuff like this, a lot of people look at it like it's spooky, like this is not something that we can't measure and see is real. We know about loggerhead turtles. The loggerhead turtle, remember, they go ahead and they bury the eggs on the beach in the sand. The eggs hatch, they come out of the sand and they go make their way into the water. A lot of you guys probably seen it on National Geographic. But what a lot of people don't understand, that from the time they are born, these loggerhead turtles, they connect to the Earth's electromagnetic field, and they remember exactly where they were born. They know how to find it. You put them anywhere on the planet, they're going to get their way back to where they was born so they can lay their own eggs the same place where they was born. It's the same thing with like salmon. They use the electromagnetic field to get around. Same thing with birds. They use it to navigate. It's a big deal. We're the only ones not using it. So when I talked about this before, about us being out of sync with nature, out of sync with, the universe. And that's what it's about. Them destroying our hearts, destroying our synchronicity to the Earth's magnetic field, which once we connect with the Earth, we connect with the universe, and we can begin to manifest what we want. And of course, this is not what they want. So at all costs, when you pay attention to what they're doing to us and everything they put in our food and everything like that, what we are taking in, we are so out of tune with the Earth that we are not getting exactly what we need to manifest. There are other ways, and there's other ways that we use, but it's also dealing with the heart, as we'll get into. So the attack on our heart has really began a long time ago. And as we move, more deeper into the technology era, technology age, the more and more we are going to be distorted energetically by our phones and everything else. TVs, all the electronics that we have around, they are there to hinder us, to throw us out of synchronicity, to basically block out a connection that we're going to have to the Earth electromagnetic field. This is why I talked about this before. The bees have been dropping off like crazy. If any of you guys seen the special about the bees, if they wasn't talking about EMFs, if they wasn't talking about the Earth electromagnetic field, whatever they were saying is bullshit, because that's exactly what it is. It's so much energy pollution that's going around. I mean, just think about it. When you have birds using the Earth's energy to get around, if they somehow was, distracted, or there was a block between, that knowledge, that energy and them, then, we have birds dropping out of the sky or have problems. And we have seen this before where you have birds just drop dead because it's a dead zone. The area that they're connecting with, as far as, their connection with the Earth electromagnetic field, is gone. And this is something that was brought up before about these spots. It's almost like, spots of dead zones around the planet to where there's no real energy flowing. And you get these birds that's just thrown out of sync, and they go into these areas and they just, for some reason, they just give out. And this happened a few times, actually. And this is what's going on with the bees. And the bees are being so distorted by Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and all these invisible signals that they are picking up, and that we can't see, but we are picking up as well, that is disturbing us both. So what I recommend for a lot of people is to really make sure you have crystals around. Amethysts are pretty good. They have healing powers as well as blocking out EMFs. And a lot of people are, not really into. I told you I'm going to have a entire video done on crystals and healing and everything like that to really get into the, the truth about them and how they really help and how. So I'm gonna put that on YouTube so everybody can see. So, it's important to have things like amethyst. I have a pretty huge one. I actually have bigger ones in Sweden, but you can see, make sure you get the real deal. Something like this will cost you about, about $150, maybe $200, depending on where you go. And, you can see there's real, that's real stone there. That's actually from a huge chunk. Right here you can see, but you can find these things in many different places. So, keep things like this and, other little crystals. I love the focus on this camera. It's banging. And, this has a Merkaba on the inside. Hopefully it focuses. There we go. But, keep these things around and they help. There's a lot of energy, negative energy, going around that's blocking and not just blocking our connection, but also opening us up to receive negative energy that we don't want, in our lives and anywhere near us. So, it's good to wear stones as well, to always have them with you to kind of block out negative energy. A lot of people hate me because I'm like always positive person. I try not to be negative in any kind of way. People will push you to those points to where you get upset and everything like that. And you'll notice after a while that, you're so past that at some point. And, it's just, it's so, stupid, as you get older and more wiser and just, you get your energy right. And it's just like, I don't even really get upset. It's just, things that really bother you as you really start to understand what's going on with this planet and everything like that. You start to have that knowledge of why, and it just kind of, makes you understand why things are the way that it is, and you be sort of more passive or more understanding about a lot of stupid stuff, and it just rolls off your back. But we understand there's a lot of negative energy out there, and a lot of things blocking this connection that we should have with the earth, and understanding that this electromagnetic connection is very important, and it plays a very important role in meditation and us really connecting. This is why a lot of people's, meditation is not working. As I said, it's a lot more to it than just sitting in lotus position and closing your eyes and thinking. There's a lot more to it than that. And this is why a lot of people are having confusion, and a lot of people abandon meditation because they just don't understand what is the point. What am I exactly supposed to be doing within meditation? And then, as I explained many times, your mindset, where your mind is at that moment when you close your eyes. A lot of us are fighting demons, that we are fighting things that, that are within us that we can't control. We call these things demons, not actual spooky things, of course. But a lot of people are fighting that. And when you are going through something serious, a lot of people just don't want to deal with it. A lot of people don't want to dwell on it. They don't want to think about it. And in meditation, this stuff will come up. This is the whole point of the personal economic series that I put out, because a lot of people are having financial problems that's really hindering them. And let's keep it real. Most people's problems are financial. If you have problems in your life, most of our problems can be fixed, with money. So it's tough to get serious about meditation when bills are due, rent's due, you're short, you're late, or what have you. You don't have enough money for something, or you'll want something. Close your eyes, you're in a constant thought. You have a constant thought process of what you need and what you want and the problems and issues that are occurring within your life. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing that these things are coming up in meditation. It's good because it's coming up so that you can address them. The problem is, a lot of us don't want to address these things. We don't want to deal with these problems and issues, so we suppress them, and that's a big problem. So we have to really understand that when you go into lotus position, there's much more to it, as you're going to see as we go along. So when we look, what are the biggest problems The biggest things we do, I should say, that lead to our problems. We either make the wrong decisions or procrastination. It's just that simple. And this is what, meditation is basically going to help you deal with, and really the whole point. And a lot of people always give me this question, what's the point of it? What are we trying to do here? You are trying to program your subconscious to affect your consciousness. Plain and simple. You're trying to program yourself to walk in that path that you want to walk in that goal that you have set for yourself. And a lot of people may look at it and it may sound spooky to you, but you are being programmed all the time to do things that you don't want to do. And when I talk about the hip hop culture, it's programming us to do exactly the opposite of what we really want to do. It's programming us to go against what we know is right. And we do it all the time. So programming, that is the main purpose of it, to really program, to have this energy, this memory that you want to set for yourself to get you to walk in the goal, the path, the journey that you want to walk in. So when you look at it and you go into meditation and you're dealing with these issues, these problems that may come up, if you don't deal with them in meditation, if you're not dealing with them at all, you're not ever going to kind of figure a way out. If you get in a problem, how are you going to get out of it? You can't just have a problem and just sit back and say, whatever happens, happens. Then, you'll meet your doom that way. But, if in meditation, you train yourself, you train your subconscious to help you consciously to, when the time is right, it allows your body to walk in that goal instead of you making the wrong decisions. Instead of you procrastinating, you done trained yourself to, hey, we got to do this. This is what I need to do. And it'll be natural to you. You'll just do it without really even having to remind yourself, because subconsciously, you're just going to, your consciousness is just going to allow you to just go that direction, to just do those things that you are supposed to do and have it all work out for you. Now, when I say we have to program ourselves, program your consciousness to allow you to act consciously, a lot of people may think that sounds spooky. It may sound weird to a lot of you. And again, the reason why I use the hip hop culture, because this is exactly what they're doing to us. They are programming us across the board. As I talked about before in the calculated destruction video about how they can program us by remote control. Black community, plain and simple. So when you look at the fact that going to the hood wherever you live at, and then go to, another hood in another city, you're going to see the same stuff. How is it that across the board we can resonate with the same issues in different hoods across America? Think about that. I mean, the fact that you have the Black community, I can go to the hood in Philly and find the same things in the hood in Cali, the hood here in Vegas, and what is that? The common thing that we have to look at. And this is basically what you're going to be doing. If you was a cop and you found out it was a murder here in Philly, the same way it was here in Vegas or what have you, or you would look at the connection. If you were FBI, you will look at the whole thing and say, well, what is it that is in common? I see the same type of murder situation in this city, this city, this city, this city, this hood, this ghetto, or what have you. What is the common connection? And that is that we all follow a hip hop culture. And it's just, there it is. It's a no-brainer to what the problem is and what the programming is. And that we are being programmed to be this way and act this way. It's a programming. So in that sense, you have to deprogram yourself. And a lot of people have talked about this. And again, meditation. So when you look at it in the sense of now you have these issues in life, how are you going to solve them? You go into meditation, and a lot of people try not to deal with them, but you need to address these problems, and you need to consciously, in meditation, think of the solution. What can I do? What can possibly happen to rectify this situation? Can my cousin give me money? My aunt give me money? Can I go work here? Can I do this? You don't even have to think about that. You can just focus on the situation just correcting itself somehow, some way, and focus on it. Think about it. If there is a way, you need to meditate on that way and what you can do to get the job done, or what can happen in order for your situation to be corrected. This is what you're supposed to be doing in meditation, dealing with the issues. So if you have a goal that you want to set for yourself, you need to focus on in meditation the exact steps, what you need to happen in order to reach that goal. Plain and simple. And it's going to make a lot of sense later on in this video when we get into why and what that is about resonating with these thoughts and understanding that, if you want something to get done, you have to set the goal and set the stage for it. I mean, a lot of people don't really understand what programming means. So clearly, if they want us to act a certain way or they want an actual outcome, you program for something to be done in the future. Plain and simple. You set for something to be done in the future. So, if you want to watch something and you're not going to be there to watch it, you program your DVR or what have you to record it for you. You come back, you can watch it. You want people to act a certain way or be a certain way. You program them to act that way. And a lot of people don't really think about, you go to rehearsals for what? Practice how to dance, a certain move or, a play. You rehearse, you study for what? So that later on, when you're going to actually perform, you know the moves. When you're actually going to take the test, you know the answers. You program yourself to perform every time, all the time. It's the same thing with meditation. You need to be in meditation to program yourself to perform, to do what you need to do. This is the true purpose of it. It's not for you to get in lotus position and get all misty-eyed and think about a bunch of stuff and fall asleep. That is the purpose, to align yourself with exactly what you want from the universe. And it's not so much just about you thinking about it, but understanding that there is a really unique connection, which we're going to get into in a second, that is going to allow you to connect and allow this to be possible. A lot of us use it. We don't know that we're using it. And a lot of us have had, things come true and happen for us. And we don't know exactly how. And we're going to get into this. So now we have all heard the phrases, true to your heart, heart's desire. I know it by heart. My heart's not in it. My heart is broken. All these terms that deal with the heart. What is this all about? Why did the ancient Egyptians basically believe that the key to the afterlife was the heart, that the heart was the key? Why so much emphasis on the heart? It's a really big deal. Now, because you gotta really think about it. The Egyptians, the entire afterlife is dealing with the heart. Of everything they could have picked, everything in the universe, everything in the world, every physical thing that we can think of, the heart is what they deem is the key to the afterlife. Wow. What is going on? Why so much emphasis on the heart again? And we know they base the entire civilization. When you go into the Egyptian origin story, the creation story, we know Ma'at was there. Everything is based off Ma'at. Ma'at is truth. Plain and simple. It's because the heart tells no lies. The heart only gives us truth. Plain and simple. And the Egyptians talked about this in the Book of the Dead. And that there is the key, people. Truth. Plain and simple. And we can trace everything back to Kemet. And I always talk about this. Truth is it. Truth is how you connect. Truth is the key to connecting to the earth and connecting to its electromagnetic field and connecting to the universe. It's truth. It's going to make a lot of sense in a second when you understand that in truth, you have gotten a lot of things done. In truth, you have, realized and made a lot of things work in your favor without you really even realizing it, to tell you the truth. Many of us have been in situations where it seemed like it was no way out. It was tough. Things was hard. You didn't know, how exactly you was going to get out of this one. And somehow you always do. somehow you get out of it. And a lot of people don't understand that connection with the heart and what that really means, to have your heart in it, to be using the power of your heart. And why the heart is so important to the ancient Egyptians and so important to everything, why it sends more neurological signals to the brain than the brain sends to it. It is very important and very unique in our existence. And we have it, and it's the most powerful thing that we possess. And we are having it, tinkered with and messed with daily. So a lot of times you may have these problems. You hear people say they cry themselves to sleep. A lot of people are heartbroken and they have these issues, and people go to sleep and they wake up different. A lot of people don't understand that, when you have a problem that's really affecting you, giving you heartache, a lot of people don't want to address these problems and deal with it. And it's so painful and it's so serious that the subconscious breaks it down and has them deal with it in a dream state. And because it's so true that the connection is made and the message is put out to the universe, the next thing you know, your problem is over. And a lot of people wake up and they can't remember those dreams. This happens a lot more with women than men because they are more spiritually connected. But a lot of people don't remember those dreams. And next thing you know, the issue is resolved somehow. Somehow you get out of it. And and not to really put it in this way, spooky way, we don't even understand sometimes we may have completely eradicated an entire problem in our life that we will never have any memory or recollection of because of that. And a lot of problems completely disappear and go away. And things you may be seriously worried about because your heart was connected, because you had truth and that desire to get rid of the problem and fix the problem was rectified. So when you correlate this whole thing, when you add it to the mix of meditation, this is exactly what you want to happen, to where you are tapping in to, truth. You are being truthful in meditation. You're not going in meditation wishing. You are going in meditation with your heart, wanting these things to be true and having it, that feeling, that connection of truth with it. You don't want this money or you don't want these things in your life because it's going to make you look good, because you just want them, because, you want to shit on somebody or you want to shine over somebody. There's a true connection to it. There's a desire for it. And you can really, mix up desire with want. And it's a bad mix.
Hey everyone, here's one last chance to get Never Pay Again membership for only $24.99. And it comes with full Podia access and all digital downloads. Hurry, because this is only a 24-hour one-time offer that ends Monday. Make sure you take advantage, and see you at the Academy.